Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Madden 2002 in the Buffalo Bills franchise mode, and we are continuing on, or rather finishing, our regular season. We are down to the last two games of our regular season, trying to make it to the playoffs here. We're almost certainly going to be in it. I think the way that the conference stacks up here, it's a very slim chance that we miss the playoffs entirely. Obviously, losing both games today would really help in that case, but the likelihood of that is, I would say, small, and the likelihood of us missing entirely is also pretty small, because the Patriots could do a whole number of things, too, that could help us either clinch the East or just make it anyway as a wild card. There's a chance that the Patriots themselves don't even make it, if they lose out and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to watch for in these final 2 weeks, but since we're in a good position, we're not doing a whole lot of standings watching because we're in a good spot. We should be able to at least win one of these games in the last 2 weeks here in New York, by the way. We were in New York for our last two games of the season. We were in the Meadowlands here. I always get it confused. It's not the Meadowlands yet, or is the Meadowlands before I can't remember. It looks the same. They've kept the same stadium for like 20 years. It just looks the same. But anyway, we're here for the last 2 weeks against the Jets and the Giants. The Jets who have clinched their fourth straight losing season in this sim. Their best season being an 8-8 season, so the Jets have really been living up to their real-life reputation, and the Giants are looking to try and get into the playoffs for the first time in the sim. They've been 9-7 the last 2 years, but that has not been good enough to get them into the NFC playoffs, and so they are looking to try and get over that hump here. They're definitely having a better season this year. They look to be probably finally already in there, already in the clinching scenario, but that's what they're playing for. That's what everyone's playing for in these next 2 weeks in the Big Apple. So all three New York teams, technically, New Jersey, you get it. You get all of it. You understand it. But the Jets are already moving down the field pretty easily, and that's Curtis Martin. And the Jets have been running a two-headed monster kind of running back tandem in the backfield. I guess they saw what Denver's been doing to win their Super Bowls and thought that they could maybe copy it with Curtis Martin and Lamont Jordan, and just has not netted them many wins. But Gerald Solomon, that guy right there, has netted them at least some good production here. Their top receiver in New York here. He's got over 900 yards, and that's touchdown number 6 to give the Jets the lead here at the end of the first quarter. But Raymond Winfield and the boys will not be down for long as Sammy Morris catching a pass out of the backfield, and he's got himself plenty of room to run and gets well inside of Jets territory and sets us up good offensively. So 2nd and 7 inside the red zone. Winfield drops back, takes a shot towards the end zone, and finds Eric Moulds for a touchdown, for his first touchdown of the day, but it's certainly not his first of the season, as Eric Moulds now is up to 14 on the season, further smashing that career number that we talked about in the previous video. So a 3rd down and 5 here for the Bills, and another shot to Eric Moulds is going to not only extend our drive, but get us deep into Jets territory. So Eric Moulds already getting pretty active here with Raymond Winfield. So 2nd and 2 here from about the Jets 25. It's a pitch play to Sammy Morris, picks up the blocks. There's no one else left in front of him. Plenty of green grass, and he's in the end zone for another Bills touchdown. And that, in case you guys are wondering, is Sammy Morris's 32nd touchdown. So he's already smashed the record. Like 28, I think was the record. 26 was the record. He's already smashed it handsomely. I think the yardage record he's also smashed. So because he's got 2,500, so yeah, he's already smashed both those records, and he's just going to set them himself to where no one else will ever come for him. So, good for him. But 3rd and 9 now for the Jets. Pressure is in Pennington's face. He gets rid of it in time across the middle. The catch is made, and it's going to extend the Jets' drive and get them inside the red zone. It's Matthew Hatchett who comes down with it. Hasn't had that great of a season here. The Jets, in general, receiving-wise, have not had a great season. Pennington has had a decent season. He's been actually okay for the Jets, but it's been mostly a running season, as we've seen. Now Curtis Martin in the end zone for another touchdown. We've yet to see Lamont Jordan. He is injured, or number 35 as he is in this game. He is injured. He's listed as probable, so he should be around. He should definitely still be used, but Curtis Martin probably going to get a majority of the reps here, just as Sammy Morris is getting a majority of our reps here. He's leading the caravan. He finally gets caught from behind, but not before crossing the Jets' 30. And there you see his season numbers on the screen. Thank you again, Madden 2, for helping me out, lobbing me up with that one here. Over 2,600 yards now on the season. So 3rd and 10 for the Bills. I almost said the Jets. For the Bills, the Jets have forced a 3rd and 10. And Raymond Winfield takes a quick check down, and that's not going to get us anywhere close to the line to gain. So with time expiring under 2 minutes into the first half, our offense is going to run the clock down, and then we're going to send out Stone to try and at least give us 3 more, and he does. So 44-yarder knocked through easily, and the Jets with 1:10 left to work in the first half. Now They've already got it close to midfield with a minute left to go. Pennington back to pass. Floats one out there, and that pass is going to be caught. Now, cutting upfield here, plenty of green grass in front of him, and it's Gerald Solomon who turns a small play into a very large play. So timeout called, 40 seconds left to go, and quickly it becomes 3rd and 7 for the Jets offense. Pennington under pressure, gets rid of it in time, and now wide open in the end zone, but coming down out of bounds to Santana Moss. He makes a great grab for it, but cannot come down and bounce with both feet in. So 4th and 7 now for the Jets. They're going to send out the kicking team to knock this one through here with 30 seconds left to go in the first half. At least try to keep the game score a little bit manageable for them. And you don't want to take any stupid risks here when you're still well in play with the team in your own division. So the Jets get the stop here and get the ball back with 4 seconds left. So Pennington's going to take a shot. Catch is made to Solomon. And now Solomon's in the end zone. The clock is at 0-0, and now the Jets turn maybe a touchdown at the end of the half into 10 points. So 14-17 now becomes 24-17 in just the span of a minute in this game. So now we find ourselves playing from behind the Jets here in this game. But already in the second half, Winfield's got the boys across midfield, and that's Dejon Mack, the fullback, the rookie fullback, making that catch out of the backfield and at least getting a first down. He hasn't done much of anything that's been worthy of us talking about with Dejon Mack. I think I've mentioned that a few times every time we do see him, but there's one. So 2nd and 4 here, going to hand off to Sammy Morris. Jukes outside here, picking up some amazing blocks, plenty of space to run, and he's in the end zone for another Bills touchdown. That is his 33rd of the season. And he just continues to add on to the record here. Every running back that's watching that even has a puncher's chance at it is just wincing every time he scores because they still think that there's a chance, and there isn't. It's an unbreakable record, I think, at this point now. But now on a punt here, now the Jets have to punt it away to us here, and now on the return, it's going to be Azir Hakeem who finds plenty of open space here. He's picking up some blocks and relying on that speed, and now he's up the sideline. No one's left to beat, and he's in the end zone for a Bills touchdown, a punt return touchdown, mind you. I don't think we've seen hardly any, if any, of those in this game. I think it's the first punt return we've seen, at least in this sim. I don't even know about in my other series if we've seen a punt return in Madden 02. I think the other one was the Cowboys sim. And the Bengals one in Madden 01, I think it happens a lot more often. There's a lot more kick returns. I think Peter Warwick had a few in that series. But there's a punt return for Azir Hakeem, so he's doing what he does. He's muffed a couple, and there's a touchdown. So I feel like he's finally paid it back in full and made up for it now. And we are back in business here, once again in charge of the Jets. But the Jets are on the attack now inside the 30. Pennington faking the handoff. Rolls to his right a bit here and takes a shot down the middle of the field. And that catch is made in the end zone for another Jets touchdown. So we cannot keep the Jets down for very long here as Pennington is starting to catch a little bit of fire here. And that's Curtis Martin making the grab in double coverage in the end zone. So we've seen him receive. We've seen him run. We know he can do both. So 2nd and 11 now on our own end of the field. Winfield takes a shot downfield. Well, it's a deep shot. And Eric Moulds comes down with it, and now he's got to step on his defender. Can he make it to the end zone? And he can, and they're not going to catch up to him. So it's another touchdown for Eric Moulds, and geez Louise, man, our offense is starting to really catch some fire. We've seen it catch fire in the last few weeks, but our defense has also been able to keep up their end of the bargain, but in this game it doesn't look like that might be the case. Looks like the Jets might be able to do a little bit of both here. So Pennington on this play is able to get to Anthony Becht here, or I'm trying to see which tight end that is, because the Jets they're running 2 tight ends. And that might have been Matt Holden, the rookie, I think it was. But either way, it's going to be pass interference on Gary Baxter, a strong safety, so that's going to give the Jets a few more yards here, but a first down nonetheless. So handoff to Curtis Martin. He's going to bounce to the outside, shakes off Sam Cohort, bringing guys with him, and he's going to get dragged in the end zone by Brian Dawkins, but not before crossing the goal line. So it's going to be another Jets touchdown, and yeah, man, our defense not able to find the answer right now to this Jets offense, which you wouldn't think would be the case here, a Jets team that's, I mean, really fighting for the wins, guys. I mean, really fighting for the wins. I mean, you've probably seen it on little quarter screens at the end of each quarter. They're fighting for these wins, and but these division games, man, throughout the records, these division games are always very, very tough, always very brutal and very tough. So tied up at 38 apiece entering into the fourth quarter, an absolute shootout, one for the ages here in New York. So Pennington dumps one off quickly here to Curtis Martin. Now Curtis Martin evading Nate Clements here, just relying on his speed to get him into the end zone, but thankfully Sam Cohort able to make the open field tackle on Martin and snuff that play out here, but already within pretty good range here of scoring. There's a good chance our defense is not going to find a way to make this stop now, but it was still good on Sam Cohort here to at least prevent Curtis Martin from scoring right away. So we have at least a few more chances here to try and stop the Jets dead in their tracks and maintain this tie. So 1st and 10 at about the 11-yard line. Pennington rolls all the way out to his right and finds an open receiver in the end zone. Just found the hole in the zone. It was Gerald Solomon once again, man. So even when Pennington threatens wants to throw here, Gerald Solomon is there every time, and we're just really struggling. Our defense cannot figure it out. So now it becomes 45-38, but the Bills are back on the attack, and now it's Lamar Jones who gets stumbled up here, but he's still on his feet. He's going to get covering behind at the shoestrings, and he's brought down right at like the 1 yard line. He was right there, rocking the double gloves, and the shoulder pads, or the elbow pads. Good to see. Good to see. I don't know why he felt the need to go 2 gloves. Maybe he felt he needed the extra grip for this game, but he's rocking the double gloves, and I can't fault him for rocking the double gloves. It's probably the smarter call here, but now brought down at the 1 yard line. We just need to punch this one in. We could probably expect that to happen with number 33, and that's absolutely what's going to happen as we get the game-tying touchdown here, knotted up once again at 45 apiece. So this game is just back and forth. No defense is going to be played whatsoever. So it's the third one for the Jets here in Bills territory. That pass is completed here to Holden, the tight end, and now the Jets have themselves another first down. Now it's going to be 3rd and 7. Time expiring here under 2 minutes, right about a minute and a half, and it looks like they're probably going to play maybe for the field goal. It looks like they might be trying to play for the game-leading field goal, but there's still plenty of time left on the clock, so the kick is up, and it's definitely good. So now 48-45 is the score, but with a minute and a half left to go, all we need to do is drive down the field, and not even really drive down the field, just get within Ethan Stone's range, which should be pretty close to about the 40-ish yard line, 35, 40-ish yard line. We could probably expect him to maybe make it from there, I would imagine. He could probably make a good 50 to 54 yarder with ease, so we don't need to go that far, but it's already 3rd and 5 at midfield here, time expiring under a minute. Winfield trying to move the boys as quickly as possible, drops way back here, plenty of time, moving around in the pocket, finds an open receiver, but he sails this one into the grass, and so that's going to bring up a 4th down. So our game comes down to this one final play. The Jets can hang on. Winfield back to pass. Takes a quick check down here to Sammy Morris, and Sammy Morris gets brought down right at the line to gain. It's a close call here. I think they're going to give it to us, and they are. So they're going to say that he got it. I would challenge that spot, but I don't think at this point in the game you can do that. So under 30 seconds now, and the Bills are going to get the spike down. Winfield's going to get that spike, and barely by the skin of our teeth are we alive in this game. It quickly becomes 3rd and 10 with 23 seconds. Got to get at least maybe another first down to really feel good about the kick. Winfield is hit as he throws. That's going to be Ross Thompson, the young receiver who makes the catch right at the line to gain. Time's still expiring, so it looks like we're going to try and send out Ethan Stone. Maybe we think we got enough yardage here. We're going to send him out here for a very long field goal. Yeah, time down to 4 seconds, and this is a very long one on 4th and inches. The kick is up here. It is traveling, and it is good. Ethan Stone nails it through the 52-yarder. Like I said, I think 50 to 54 he could make with relative ease, and he nails home a 52-yarder as time expires, and so we tie things back up at 48 apiece going into overtime with the Jets here in week 15. Unbelievable. So Winfield across the middle, and he finds, it looks like Ross Thompson again. Was that Ross Thompson again? I think it might have been. No, it's Eric Moulds. Eric Moulds makes the catch, and now fast forward, but we get stopped here. So fast forward to the Jets' first offensive possession on 3rd and 13, and Gerald Solomon cannot clasp it down as he drops the ball. So the Jets are going to have to punt it back to us. We get it right back around at midfield. So on 3rd and 3, handing off to Sean Bryson. Sean Bryson's got plenty of space on the edge. He's got the first down and plenty more, and that's probably, again, good field goal range for Ethan Stone. We'll see if Cliff Harris elects to try and at least eat more time, or not time, but tries to get at least another first down. So on a 2nd and 3 here, hand this one off to Sean Bryson once again, and he's got the first down for the Bills. So that should all but seal this one away for us here as we send out Ethan Stone with 3 minutes left to go in overtime. It's still a bit of a longer field goal, but the kick is up, and we know he's good, man, and that kick is good. It is a 38-yarder that's going to win us this game here, 51-48. An absolute back-and-forth chaos game ensues here. We get our 11th win of the season. That should all but clinch something for us. I don't know what. Maybe the division. Definitely a playoff berth, but something should be clinched with that 11th win. I would assume so. So, 3rd down we were pretty bad on. I'm not sure how much that has anything to do with how this game went. We still scored 51 points. This is definitely more of a point the fingers at the defense kind of game, because there was not much of any help coming from them at all. So, I think the offense did more than fine, even considering the troubles we had on 3rd down. So, Raymond Winfield has a pretty darn good game as well. Does not turn the ball over, more importantly, considering how much the ball was in the air. It's great here. Sam Morris over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Eric Moulds with another fantastic game himself. And, so our guys really showed up when we needed them to. So now looking at the standings, the Broncos, of course, still have their spot clinched. The Titans have clinched a playoff berth here. We have now clinched the AFC East, so we will probably be the 2 or 3 seed. The Bengals have clinched the 3 seed by winning the North, and so the South is still up for grabs. Depending on what the Titans do, they will probably take the 2nd seed. So if the Titans win this last game and finish 12-4, and we lose this last game and finish 11-5, the Titans will obviously probably be the 2nd seed here. I know we played earlier in the season, so I know that's some of the tie-breaking scenarios at play too, so there might not even be an inside track to just even get to the second seed here. But the third or fourth seed is probably about where we're looking. I don't know how much the AFC North champion could depend things, could decide things for us about where we are, but we'll definitely probably be playing on Wild Card Sunday against somebody. I don't know who. The Colts are definitely already in play, and there's a few teams on the outside, I know, like the Patriots and the Ravens, who are probably also trying to find their way inside to the postseason, so we'll see exactly which one of those teams manages to do that after this game. But we have this game to focus on here. We are back in the same stadium. We have not left. We've been here for at least a week now. We've been stuck in New Jersey. I was trying to think. East Rutherford, New Jersey. We've been stuck here waiting to play the last two teams on our schedule, which is the Jets and the Giants. So we have the Giants here today. Kerry Collins has really bounced back here and had himself a pretty decent season. Looks like he definitely missed some time last year. Even then, the Giants still won 9 games and could have made it to the playoffs, but just fell a little bit short. But this year, they're definitely in a position to make it to the playoffs, and I think they've already clinched a spot at the time of this game here, and a lot of it's because of that guy right there as well, man. Ron Dayne has also had himself a great season. He's really kind of realized his potential on this team, which is something in real life that obviously didn't happen, as Tiki Barber would kind of take that spot here. And Tiki Barber is still here. He's still on the roster. He's a 75 overall, I think, but the Giants don't use him hardly, and that's Amani Toomer, who they also use quite a bit. On the other side, Amani Toomer gets a touchdown here, his fifth, it's his fifth of the season. And Collins here, good work from him. But now we're going to see a little bit of the Bills' offense, and Sammy Morris breaking tackles in the backfield. Now he's out in open space here, leading the charge all the way down the sideline. He's going to get brought down. And, you got to be mad about that, Coach. You have to be, because you had 2 guys in the backfield who could have had Sammy Morris dead to rights, but you should have seen his yards after contact stat from last season, Coach, because it would make a lot more sense. But now Sammy Morris, again with pressure in the backfield, just evades it by relying on the feet and the speed, and he's in the end zone for touchdown number. Hold on, let's check the notes here. Let's head back to the numbers here. Touchdown number 35 on the season. So we'll see exactly where that record ends up at the end of this game here, but we are knotted up at 7 apiece here at the end of the first quarter. So 3rd and 11 now for the Giants. They are already past midfield. Collins, quick pass across the middle, and it is made. It looked like it might have been to Ike Hilliard. That's definitely what it looked like. But they're going to get stopped dead in their tracks. So the Giants send it to the kicking team. The kick is up. It's a very long one, too, made with plenty of stride. A 50-yarder looked like a 60-yarder to this team. And I wonder if the AI would even take a 60-yard field goal, knowing that with the sliders I have, it is possible. Even though, again, I've adjusted them. I have adjusted the sliders. It's not that easy. It just, all these new kickers that are like 90 to 95 overalls, they can just do that because they have the kicking power. So Kerry Collins goes down on a 3rd down, and that forces another kicking opportunity for the Giants. The kick is up, and it is good. So with about 40 seconds or so left to go, gosh, man, this guy's nailing him through. 50 and a 53-yarder. He's absolutely just hammered him through. So if a team tries to do the 60-yarder, it looks like the Giants might be the one. So 13-7 now against the Giants. Our offense really does not show up here in the second quarter, and the Giants now starting off the 3rd quarter with some of their offense. So Kerry Collins takes the snap here, flips this one out, and that catch is made over the heads of a bunch of defenders. That's Eric Fisk, one of the new tight ends, one of the new acquisitions for the Giants. He's not a rookie anymore. He's like a 2nd or 3rd year pro from Fresno State, and he's having himself some great numbers. Put up some great numbers, similar to Lamar Jones. And now Sean Bryson's really trying to pad his numbers at the end of the season. He breaks a tackle and gets a 1st down, and that's going to continue the Bills' drive. But we have to cover up quite a bit of ground here against the Giants, who have now kind of opened this lead quite a bit, thanks to Eric Fisk's 5th touchdown of the season. So 1st and 10, we're going to pitch this one back out. Looks like Deshaun Bryson again. So Sean Bryson getting a lot of reps here towards the end of the season. Looks like we might be resting up Sammy Morris a bit maybe for the postseason, as he's ran the length of like 20 football fields in one season. So it makes sense. 1st and 10. Once again, we're going back to Sean Bryson, breaking a tackle out in open space, gets a 1st down and the touchdown, and he's in, man. So Sean Bryson, we'll give him all the flowers, man. Look, he's really showing out in this game. We'll give him the flowers. And I always knew in the previous seasons here with Travis Henry and Sean Bryson, both those guys could obviously be starters for a number of teams here, but we just had such a great starting situation that it didn't really matter. But now we're seeing a little bit of Sean Bryson flex the muscle, as Gary Baxter's not flexing his muscle. He's getting thrown off, and now Nate Clement's able to finally make the tackle of Ron Dayne close to the line to gain, but a very physical run from Dane, but that gets him a 1st down. So fast forward to 2nd and 10. That's another handoff to Dane, and Dane jukes outside here. He's got plenty of space, and that's Pat Williams in pursuit. Cannot lay the tackle down, but Gary Baxter comes from nowhere, and he makes the tackle. So need to see a little bit more speed out of Pat Williams, but we know he's kind of low there. Doesn't really have that speed. So 3rd quarter comes to a close. We're still only trailing by 6 points to these Giants. We're still very much alive in this game, but if the Giants score, it's going to make things pretty difficult. So on 3rd and goal, it's a pitch play out to Tiki Barber, and Tiki Barber's going to get caught well right at the line of scrimmage here. So that's going to bring up 4th and goal, another kicking attempt. That'll make it 23-14, a nice 9-point lead for the Giants, which is very important here, extended back to 2 possessions. So they don't get the touchdown. We're still very much alive in that regard, but we still have 2 possessions to try and make up for. So on 1st and 10, Winfield close to midfield once again, takes a shot downfield, finds Lamar Jones, again rocking the double gloves and double elbow pads, and he makes the catch inside the 30. So Lamar Jones gives us a nice boost, and we are very much still alive. 1st and 10 now, once again. Winfield taking the snap in shotgun position here, and he takes a shot out once again to Lamar Jones. So it's a tight end battle. We will go toe for toe with tight ends right now. We do not care whatsoever about the tight end squabbling. We will win this battle. So pressure's in immediately, and Sammy Morris once again relying on the feet. I don't even know how that's possible, dude. Look at this. Right up the middle. They send the linebacker right up the middle, and it just somehow does not matter. How is that even remotely possible? I don't get it. I don't get it. So 21-23 is the score here. And now the Giants trying to kill some clock here and walk out of here with a win, but on a holding call that's going to force the Giants to take a 4th down. So we could have made it 3rd and 24, but instead we're going to take the loss down anyway and force a 4th down. And so the Giants now going to have to rely on the leg here of Holmes, who's been pretty much perfect all day today. The kick is up again, and it is barely good. So we really pushed him to his limits. Looks like a 55-yarder might be outside of the range here, but a 54 is good. So that makes it 26-21. We still have a chance here over the Giants. But on 3rd and 10, Molds gets a hand on it, but cannot haul it in, man. That's the kind of catch that he should have, absolutely. But now it's 4th and 10, down to our last opportunity against these Giants. Winfield back to pass, takes a shot. The catch is made by Molds, but it's well shy of the line to gain, and that is going to be a turnover on downs. And the Giants should be able to kill off the remainder of the clock in this game after our poor decision, I guess, from Winfield, I guess. I don't know. Offense does not show up too much here. I mean, this is a much better game than it was, a much better game than it is against the Jets. I mean, definitely a much better game, but still coming away with a loss here. We're going to finish at 11-5. It is still our best season under the helm of Cliff Harris and should definitely still get us in the play. I mean, we are in the playoffs. We already clinched our division for the 3rd time in this sim. And so we are AFC East champions once again. So definitely should be okay. 3rd down, still a huge concern. I don't know how I feel about that going into the playoffs. I didn't think it really mattered in the Jets game, but in this game, definitely, it was certainly a bit of kryptonite. It was definitely a lot of kryptonite for us here. Raymond Winfield has an absolute stinker of a game at the end of the season. I don't know. Maybe we were phoning it in, just looking towards the postseason. Didn't need to win this game. Obviously, the seeding doesn't make that big of a difference for us here, obviously, other than maybe hosting, because it looks like we're probably going to be on the road for most of the season, or most of the postseason. So, but Sammy Morris, there we go. 2,800 yards, sets the single season rushing yards record here. Obviously smashed his own record and finally set it again here. Now 36 touchdowns. I think both those records probably untouchable unless Sammy Morris does it again himself next season, which is very possible. So, but here is your playoff look here now. The Ravens make the wild card, and they're going to be visiting us in Orchard Park, playing us here. The Eagles are going to be visiting the Giants, so a divisional matchup there, and then the Colts are going to be visiting the Bengals, who managed to win the North. And then the Vikings are going to be traveling all the way to San Fran to play an 8-8 49ers. So definitely the playoff standings got very, very weird. They got very, very interesting. So the AFC South was definitely very strong, and the AFC North not so much. And then the NFC West, good Lord, whatever happened there. Lord knows what happened in the NFC West. But either way, the Vikings, who remember we beat in the Super Bowl the last time, they're going to be back in the playoffs here at 12-4. So they're looking like a strong team. But we got to make it all the way there first. Okay, so our path is going to first start off including a game against the Ravens here, a very tough opponent that we're familiar with, especially in the playoffs. So hope to see you guys back here when we're in the playoffs taking on the Ravens.